Over 136 million people in the United States voted in the 2016 election. 48.3% of these people voted for Hillary Clinton, while only 46.2% voted for Donald Trump. Yet somehow Donald Trump is our president currently. So how did this happen? This is because of the Electoral College. The Electoral College in the 2016 election ended up with Donald Trump having 304 electoral votes, while Hillary Clinton only had 227. Now, we weren't quite sure what the Electoral College is, so we're going to learn more about it by answering these three questions. What is the Electoral College? How does it work? And why do we have it? So during the 2016 election, we were confused because the obvious popular vote winner is not our current president. So I've done my research on the Electoral College to inform you on what it is and give you the information so that you will be able to understand why it is that President Trump is now our president. Now, starting with our first question, what is the Electoral College? The Electoral College is the process that determines who the president is. It is made up with 538 electoral votes, and as the Constitution says, the number of electors is equal to the whole number of senators and representatives to which the state may be entitled in Congress. This is just telling us how many votes that each state will get based on their population and the 2 senators they have. DC will have 3 electoral votes. This is because they will have the minimum requirement of having 1 representative, and they will have the 2 required senators, which means they will have 3 electoral votes. Now, on to our second question. How does the Electoral College work? The goal is to win the presidency. So the candidates do this by gaining the absolute majority vote, which is half plus 1, or 270 of the electoral votes. Now, they have to win the states in order to get these votes. So to win the states, 48 of the states, have the winner take it all, which means whoever won the popular vote in that state will get all of the electoral votes that the state has to offer. Now, Maine and Nebraska are the 2 exceptions to this rule. They award some of their electoral college votes on a basis of congressional district. This means the 2 votes that they have, their 2 senatorial votes, are given to whoever won the popular vote, while 1 vote is awarded to each winner of each congressional district. So different districts could have different winners, causing varying winners of the electoral votes in these 2 states. Now, the goal is to get the majority of electoral college votes, not to win the popular vote in the presidential election. Now, on to our third and final question. Why do we have the Electoral College? We have the Electoral College because the Founding Fathers wrote it into our Constitution as part of the checks and balance systems that they ran in to keep corruption out of their government. Now, the Founding Fathers knew what pure democracy, a pure democratic government was, and they didn't want it. They knew that it had pitfalls and it would bring corruption into our government, and so they added checks and balances such as the Electoral College to get rid of that. Quoting Tara Ross, they, being the Founding Fathers, knew that in a pure democracy, 51% of the people can rule over 49% all the time without question, no matter how ridiculous their demands. The Electoral College is there and has continued to protect American freedoms. It's not an old idea. It's something that is continually going on to keep our freedoms going. Now, the Electoral College serves as a compromise between the election of the president by a vote in Congress or election of the president by the people's vote. It gives it a kind of mix-up so we both have a say, not just one or the other. Now, a corrupt majority would have the ability to rule without the electoral government. So if you had $1 and there were 3 people, and 2 of those people said, "We really want your dollar, we're going to vote on it," and they vote to take away your dollar. That's democratic, it's majority rules, but it's not fair to you. So that's why we have the Electoral College. It keeps things like this from happening between the states. Bigger states such as Texas, California, and New York would dominate smaller states such as New Mexico, Montana, and Wyoming, and the smaller states wouldn't have a voice. Quoting Will Witt from Prager University. Even the smallest minority would have a voice in all the elections. This would be with the Electoral College. Now, in conclusion, the Electoral College is a process who determines who becomes president. The number of electoral votes is equal to the number of congressional representation, and it was created to deter corruption in the government. Now, as you're going out to vote in the upcoming election, vote with confidence because you know that your vote is going to count. Thank you.